Hey guys, and welcome to another episode. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how to correct your camber after you install coilovers or lowering springs. So whenever you adjust the ride height on your car, what's going to naturally happen is your wheels, they're going to want to camber in. That's normal whenever you change your ride height and lower it. Now, to correct that, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find an aftermarket set of adjustable control arms, and you're going to be able to extend or retract the hub, and it's going to either like pull in or push out the camber so that you get proper tire wear. Now, I've already done this, and I've showed you guys kind of the process on my Honda Accord. Now, I just installed a set of BC coilovers on the Mini, and I'm going to show you today how to install these Alta Adjustable spherical control arms. What I'm going to be able to do with this is I'm going to be able to change the camber to whatever I want. So if you really want to go stancy, get these. You can make the control arm longer, or if you want to correct it and make it so that the wheels sit at their natural height, what you're going to do is you're going to make this shorter. So this is a before shot of what the car looks like now. So in the rear, I have about -3 to -4 degrees of camber, and I'm going to be able to correct that with those Alta Adjustable control arms. Now, if you guys don't know what kind of control arms you need, just do a simple Google search, type in your car and adjustable control arms to correct the camber. Now, I'm going to need that for the rear. For the front, it's a little bit different. For the top plates on the front of the car, my struts have adjustable camber options right here. You can see that there's 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4 that you loosen up, and if you want to increase your camber, you're going to bring the shock body in. If you want to get rid of the camber, you're going to bring it out. So right now, I'm not quite sure what it's at, but once I bring the car to an alignment shop, I'll be able to get the exact measurement and then correct it from there. So I'm going to jack the car up in the air and take the wheel off to show you guys exactly what we're going to be replacing. So underneath the rear of the car, we're going to have 4 total control arms that we can replace. So the 2 bottom ones that are attached to the bottom side of the knuckles, those are what we're going to be changing only today. So the bottom one that we have right here is what we're going to be swapping out with our Alta Adjustable one to change our camber. Now, if you take note on the top one is made out of steel. And if you can see right there, there's a little bracket that's attached to it, a little electronic module, and that's there to adjust for the headlights. So since this vehicle is equipped with bi-xenon adjustable headlights, there needs to be a little module on the back of the car to detect the level of the vehicle. There's going to be both one on the front and back part of the car. So when you go to turn the car on and turn your low beams on, the projector that's found on the top automatically adjusts and levels itself every single time you turn the vehicle on. So if we want to, we can change out that top control arm. However, we're going to need to modify it so we can attach that bracket on the back of it so our headlights work. Since I only have one set of control arms, we're only going to be doing the lower one and replacing them with these. Now there is a little bit of camber adjustability with the stock setup. This big nut that you see right here is an eccentric nut. So depending on which way you turn it, it'll either push in or pull out the entire hub assembly a tiny bit. So what you do is you'd put a 26mm socket on here, twist this, and depending which way you go, you're going to correct camber. Now that's only good if you're running stock suspension and you're not really adjusting the ride height of the vehicle at all. Because we're lowering it, what's going to happen is this is not going to allow us to compensate for the excessive camber that we created. So to do that, to take care of that, we're going to need a 16mm socket. We're going to take this little bolt right here out, and we're going to be able to extract the entire thing and release the control arm from the hub. So if we take this out, we'll be able to see there's our big bolt, and this is the eccentric nut that I was talking about. So you can see that the center of it is not in the center of this circle. So depending on which way you spin it, you're going to correct camber and adjust it by pulling it in or out, depending on which way this nut is oriented. This next part is slightly vehicle specific. So what I had to do is I had to disconnect the exhaust, slightly drop it down, so I was going to be able to get access to the heat shielding and remove it. Because those 2 nuts over there, they were in the way. So now with the exhaust shielding out, I can grab an 18mm socket and extract that lower bolt. So I'm going to grab one of my bolts that we used before that we took out that went through the control arm, and I'm going to put it through the Alta control arm and then all the way through our stock control arm. And then from there, this should be perfectly lined up. Now, if we move along the control arm and take a look at the other side, what we should notice is that these 2 lengths should be different. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my new control arm and twist this until these are both the exact same length. So you're just gonna extend the Alta control arm till about there. And then whenever that's done, that's ready, we're gonna turn these jam nuts and lock the control arm into place. So make sure you lock up both jam nuts on both ends. And then we're gonna install it just like this. So at this point, this entire control arm should be the exact same length as stock. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna install this. Once we have the entire thing installed on both sides of the car, we're gonna bring this down to our alignment shop, and they're gonna be able to fine tune this so that we get the correct length and correct our camber. With the stock piece that we had, there's no way to change your alignment other than that little eccentric nut for our stock arm. With this, there's a lot of fine tuning. We can make this bar longer, shorter, as we please, and then just tighten this up. The installation is going to be pretty straightforward. You're going to be starting off by working on the inside part first, inserting the bolt along with the nut end on here, and then after you have that basically tightened up, you can move down the control arm and work on the other side. For the other end of the control arm, all you gotta do is slide it up into place. I don't know if I can get that with one hand, but once you have it in place, all you do is you install the nut and bolt that basically feed through the back part of the hub, tighten it up, and then the install is basically done. If you guys are just about as particular and OCD as I am, you're gonna wanna put some anti-seize on the threads so that once you go to take this out, say down the road, the control arm isn't seized and everything's gonna come out nicely. So I've got some Permatex aluminum anti-seize that I'm just applying on there. And then once you have that on, we can go in, install that bolt through the bottom part, and then tighten this all up. Next, grab your 16 mil socket, grab your wrench or impact driver, and tighten this all up. Once you have the control arm installed on the driver's side, you can then replicate the exact same thing for the passenger side. Another great feature of running these type of control arms is that the bushing style is also different. So if you'll take note of the stock one, we have a regular rubber bushing found on the inside part of the arm, whereas on the Alta Adjustable one, you can see that this is a spherical bushing. So the entire internals is completely made out of metal. Now what's nice about this is that there's not going to be any play versus this kind of control arm. Once this is bolted in, the only kind of movement that there is with the control arm is in and out when we adjust this jam nut. With this, if we were to have this installed in the car, because this is a rubber bushing, this isn't exactly a fixed point to the control arm. This can move freely from this. Not by much, but it's still something. So we now have the end links attached on the left side and the right side of the vehicle. Now before we go ahead and tighten up the jam nuts to see what kind of angles we're working with, I'm going to put the wheels on the car and I'm going to tighten those up, put the car down on the ground, and then see how much camber we have, and then we can correct it with this adjustable control arm. With the car now level and on the ground, we can take a look at our camber to see if we need to adjust it with our adjustable control arms. So if it needs to be adjusted, we can easily do that by turning the center part of the control arm and then holding it and locking it in place with the jam nuts. Now we won't be able to get a perfect alignment by just doing a quick alignment inside the garage. If you want to get it so that all of your alignment angles are on point, you're going to need to bring your car to an alignment shop where they're going to be basically hooking up lasers to each one of the wheels and getting the alignment on point. But as it stands, that's how you install these adjustable control arms. If you want to correct your camber, you can do that with these. If you want to stance your car and add a ton of camber, you can also do it with this. If you guys have any questions regarding the video, throw them down in the comment section below, and I'd be more than happy to help. Again, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.